Beijing military parade. That was exciting. All of the fancy tanks and stuff. Like, clearly, China has the most powerful military in the world, right? That's what we should be taking from this? Why even bother fighting back?
Yeah, this is definitely what the Chinese Communist Party is going to want us to believe in the coming weeks and years.
You know, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. There was definitely a lot of impressive military hardware being displayed in Beijing.
Absolutely. I tend to group it in the Golden Dome won't save you category and the Taiwan we're going to get you category.
Well, so I know not too long ago, well, I guess it was 6 years ago, in 2019, they also had a military parade for the 70th anniversary of the CCP. How was this one different from that?
Well, this parade very much reflects the reforms of the PLA initiated in late 2015. There is a great emphasis on what they call informatization, or the weaponization of information, and the expansion of all manner of electronic warfare capabilities. Now, below that, of course, you had a new stress on unmanned combat capabilities, practically in all domains except space, perhaps. But the traditional measures of power, nuclear, air, naval and ground, were also well on display.
I mean, I feel like this was very important for the CCP's image of the PLA, especially a few weeks after the collision in the South China Sea between a Chinese naval destroyer and a Coast Guard vessel. Like that was a pretty big. The PLA is not quite as capable as they try to make themselves out to be.
Well, on the other hand, they could also view that as, oh, look, we can actually hurt people now. We missed those Filipinos, but next time we'll get them. Experience is something that the PLA lacks, and that crash, in a sense, helped contribute to that column. But the overarching message that the Communist Party wants to convey in this parade is one of China's military ascendance over the United States and globally. They want to use this parade to convey that they are now the most powerful country on earth, and as a consequence, all other countries have to bow, scrape, and obey.
But it should be remembered that they have not seen real combat since the botched invasion of Vietnam in 1979.
Well, from their perspective, that's certainly a point that they make themselves. However, when your doctrine is all about attacking first with complete surprise and with overwhelming superiority, that kind of compensates for not having fought major wars every decade since World War II.
So do you think this was surprising to the United States that, was this a demonstration that China's military is a bigger threat than people might have originally thought?
Well, it's hard to say what the intelligence services actually know. They don't want to reveal their sources and methods. But for public analysts like myself, there were quite a few surprises. And one that really stands out is the revelation of 2 fighter-sized, unmanned cooperative combat aircraft. These are unmanned fighters designed for air superiority. These are the first such aircraft to enter into any military. And we have to remember, everything that China shows in these parades is in service, is being used by some kind of actual unit. So those those large CCAs, as they're called, had Bort numbers on the side of the fuselage, meaning they are assigned to some unit. And the speculation is that they're deployed kind of against India right now.
So tell us about these unmanned fighters then. Like how, I assume they're operated from a base somewhere, like the way that the U.S. operates drones out of essentially trailers in Nevada.
Well, they certainly can do that, but the main idea is that these unmanned fighters, very maneuverable, stuffed with missiles, can be controlled by other fourth and fifth generation Chinese fighter aircraft. So you have one J-20, fifth generation aircraft, J-20S, the new two-seat version, controlling 3, maybe 4 of these CCAs. So one J-20 goes out to intercept the American rescue squadron on its way to Taiwan. They may see the J-20, but they may not see the 4 or more CCAs that are circling around the back or are coming on the sides. And it's these unmanned fighters that will be killing our manned fighters, be killing our pilots first before they can even get to the manned J-20S.
It's like a Raptor strategy in Jurassic Park. Is it possible that, the Soviets held massive military parades and it eventually turned out that a lot of that was not real? I mean, is it possible that, these manned fighters are not actually functional, or could it just be for show?
We cannot operate on such assumptions. The Chinese tell us that what is in the parade is in their inventories, in their operational inventories, and I always take them at their word. The house of cards of the Chinese Communist Party is real, for sure. A society riven with weaknesses, and it exists largely because the West has so far refused to push against this house of cards. But in the meantime, it is assembling an ever more capable military force that, if anything, intimidates the West from uniting against and initiating what the Soviets would call active measures to take down this threat to the world, essentially.
Well, so do you think the result of this parade will be the West getting frightened and backing off on China, or do you think this will be the motivation to push on that house of cards?
Well, the first target here is Russia. Xi Jinping put on a parade and show of strength that was 1,000 times greater than the show of strength that Donald Trump was able to display for Vladimir Putin when he recently visited Alaska for 4 or 5 hour summit. Putin stayed in China for over 3 days, I believe. Not only was Putin a guest of honor, but also Kim Jong-un from North Korea, a country that China has turned into a nuclear missile state. So what you had was a display to corral the axis of evil. The best photo of the whole production was one of Putin, Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un, and President Sharif from Pakistan, all of the nuclear dictatorships walking in a row on the way to the parade dais. That is what Xi Jinping wanted to accomplish. That's the image that he wanted to portray, that we are the new core of power on this earth, and everybody else had better be afraid.
That was just one clip from our hour-long podcast. I invite you to watch the whole thing at our community platform, ChinaUncensored.tv. We rely on your support to keep making this podcast, so join us and you'll get all the full-length podcasts, audio downloads, exclusive live streams, and lots more stuff. So go to ChinaUncensored.tv and subscribe. I'll see you there.